dress, Bubba? Yes. Well, howdy, partners. That was the worst. I apologize. So, jumping right in, to get my buttonholes exactly spaced how I wanted them to be, I laid my yardstick out over my front facing of my button placket, and then I took chalk and I marked exactly where the middle in between the holes was on every single buttonhole, and I did that as a straight line just right across. And then on the other facing, I also marked a vertical line perfectly in the middle, and I made each line the exact length of my buttons. I also hand stitched all of my buttonholes because my machine is being a little bit of a crybaby right now. Also, I was dog sitting at the time, so my little pupper that I dog sit got to sit and help me sew up all my buttonholes, and that's why I have no footage of me actually doing it. I'm sorry. But on to the most important thing that I did during the entire making process of this dress, and that is making the pocket. If you've never drafted a pocket before, the first few times, it doesn't always come out right. So I would recommend is finding the top part of your knuckles and then the middle knuckle of your thumb bone. And that should be the length from the top of your pocket to the bottom of your pocket, just like I did here. This prevents the opening of your pocket from being like too small to get your hand into, while still keeping your pocket pattern small enough that you can use the tiny, teeny, tiny, itty bitty scraps that you have left over to make your singular pocket. If you're particularly lazy and trying to figure out where to put your pattern, you don't even have to put your dress on. You can just put it on the ground, lay on it, and figure out where your hand would comfortably rest. Then take a pin, I have mine resting on my belly button, and mark your fabric right where your hand rests comfortably, and then admire your double chin. Now you might be thinking, because we're doing a pocket, we're surely not going to be doing French seams. You'd be wrong, we're still doing French seams. All you have to do is sew your pocket very, very scantily to the edge of your fabric, and then iron that as nice and flat as you can get it. Some people like to go in and hand stitch this piece of fabric down just so that it stays nice and nice. Then what you're going to do is put your fabric right sides out, wrong sides together, and do a 1/4 of an inch stitch all the way around your pocket and just along the straight edge of where your seam would be anyway. And if you've already stitched your sleeves onto your bodice, you don't even have to worry about those anymore either, and you're basically done. The most important part of a French seam is to make sure that you press it as much as possible and that you trim your edges before doing your second pass very nice and cleanly so that you don't have anything to worry about after your seam is already done. After sewing this hem down, I did the rest of my hand stitching, which was just a hem and stitching down the pieces of my collar that needed to be hand stitched, and my garment was done and ready for me to wear it.
Oh, you're gonna have to do all that again because I messed up.
No! This is actually the worst. Whew. So, this dress actually didn't take very long to make at all. It took me like a week. But it did take me, let's see, almost a full year to get the video out. Sorry about that, friends. Especially if you watched part 1 and 2 on my other channel and then had to move to this channel. Like, I can't even imagine. You must have been sitting on the edge of your seat, waiting to see the finished product. I'm kidding, that's not true. The only person who used to watch my videos before was my mom. But anyways, I'm actually super happy with how this came out. Like, unironically, I wear this dress all the time. It's super versatile. It can be worn either like this, or it can be worn belted like it was in the clip that you saw before. And it can even be worn like as a jacket, kind of, with a band t-shirt underneath. I've only done that once, and it's not like my favorite look,
but it's an option, you know? It really gives me the vibe of like one of those new metal Hawaiian shirts, but like revamped for the fourth wave of ska. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too nitty gritty, but I get serious ska vibes from this dress. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Drafting your own patterns and editing your own patterns really isn't that scary. Like, I would highly recommend it. It's really rewarding. The best way to get into it, in my opinion, is to start small, you know? Just make yourself a hat or a bag. Maybe not a hat or a bag. Those are actually two very complicated things to make. I think that the best way to get started is to just get yourself an old sheet from Goodwill when Goodwill finally reopens and just attempt something. Maybe use some old fabric that someone gave you that you don't love, and that way if it doesn't turn out to be a usable garment, you can like clean the floor in it. I don't know how other people live their lives. Well, see you later, friends. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I would love having you around. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Ask me any questions you might have. Tell me to take off this ridiculous hat. Until next time, I hope you had a good time watching this video, and I hope that you stick around for the next one, and I'll see you later, friends!